Supercross Live on supercrossonline.com. Kevin Barnett and Jim Holley on a night in Phoenix when just a year ago it was 40 degrees colder and the racing was even hotter this year than last year. And we'll start out with the 250s, Jim. If you want to know what the 250s were like this week, just rewind to last week. Dave, just show last week's recap because it was exactly the same, Jim.
Yeah, can you believe that? On the last lap, too, Jason Anderson makes that pass on Seeley, and Seeley was just, I mean, he was beside himself after the checkered flag. He just, and he knew he let one go because it was very crucial. If he could have won, then they're tied when they go back down. But now he's 6 points down when they go to Anaheim. It's almost a necessity that Seeley's got to win in Anaheim next week.
Not only did you see Anderson and Seeley up front again chasing one another in the same order with the same pass, but the same two guys were right behind him. It was Osborne and Wilson, but it was Osborne late in the part of that race ran away from Wilson.
Yeah, he made that pass stick, and I talked to him, and he just said, you know what, I knew I could get by him, and I didn't want to get into a repeat of Anaheim where we're going back and forth, and another fourth for Wilson. What do you say? I mean, that championship's edging away.
Yeah, I wonder if Wilson hasn't been passed by this group with his time off. Has the speed of that class gone up?
Absolutely. Absolutely, that speed has gone up.
Simple answer, Malcolm Stewart comes home in 5th, so a good ride for Stewart. Now on, yes?
Well, I wanted to mention that, that whole shot, for Nuclear Cowboys. I mean, Cooper Webb picks up $1,000, but made a couple rookie mistakes out there, when the first lap led it around for a lap and then, came around after the finish line there and, both those guys passed him. He should have just hung right there and said, look, I got a free opportunity. I got a scholarship to go to school. I need to watch these guys. And unfortunately, he made a mistake, went down, went in the back, and then coming back up, working his way up, him and Shane McElrath get into it. And that pass there, I told some of the guys, I said, Cooper's got to watch that main event in the 450 and watch exactly how Villopoto made all those passes and made them stick and everything.
Cooper Webb, first-time winner of the Nuclear Cowboys whole shot in the 250 class. In the 450 class, another first-time winner of the Nuclear Cowboys whole shot, and that was Matt Moss on the 102.
Yeah, good start for Matt Moss on that Suzuki there, the Australian. He was really happy to collect $1,500, but you come around that first lap and you see number 10, Justin Brayton, you went, nice.
Yeah, there was a great battle up front as usual. All the suspects were there, but you throw number 10 in there. Justin Brayton was strong for the entire race, and then when Villopoto did get him, Justin Brayton came right back.
Well, I think his bike was working. That's that new Yamaha. They have one in the 250 class, and they got a new one in the 450. And I went over to Coy Gibbs and the guys. I said, man, you guys shouldn't change a thing for that thing because that thing was working. If you look at any of the tape going through the whoops, that thing, he was catching Villopoto. It looked to me like Villopoto's bike started dancing around a little bit in the last 5 laps in the whoops. But Brayton rode phenomenal. But how about the man who runs that number 1 plate? He's got the red background now. He's leading it by a point over Dungey when we head down to Anaheim next week. But he's never won here in Phoenix. Not in the 450 and not in the 250. Ryan Villopoto gets his first win here in Phoenix.
And we've gotten really used to seeing that number 1 with the red background. It almost looks strange to have a white background on it, so you will see it again with red coming up next week in Anaheim. A couple of good rides behind him. Stewart off to a bad start again. It seems like if James Stewart could get a start, he'd run right up front, but he leaves himself a lot of work to do.
Well, and who knows, after that crash he had in practice, we don't know, I haven't talked to him yet. Maybe he was ailing from that, but, a good ride for Stewart. But we talked about how consistent Ryan Dungey is. I mean, you got to think about it. Ryan Dungey, consistent, both podiums the first 2 rounds, and he sets only a point behind Villopoto. It's only going to get better. And, I always say, I love my job, man. I mean, look at the racing we had here tonight. I mean, just phenomenal. And, it's going to be it's going to go to Anaheim, and then we're going to go up to Oakland. It's going to be the same. These guys all want to win here, and there's, like you said, we talked about it, the field's deep. There's 8 guys that want to win here, and you saw it tonight on how bad they wanted to win with Barsha and Roxon coming together, and not only those two, but I mean, it's going to be good next week. I can't wait.
Everybody's used to watching that number 1 get up front and run away. It doesn't seem like with this pack this year it's going to happen just yet. So a lot more racing to come throughout the season. As Jim mentioned, move to Anaheim again next week before going on to Oakland, and then the last race in Anaheim, February 1st. It's going to be another fantastic season of Monster Energy Supercross. 2 races in, we are off to a fantastic start.